Hi, I'm Rob Cram, and today we're taking a look at 4 different games running on the RTX 3090. I've set them each to 1080p. Top left is Nioh 2, top right Cyberpunk 2077, bottom left Black Desert Online Remastered, and bottom right is League of Maidens. So I've kept them all at very high settings in terms of the graphics options, but that's not why we're here today. What we're going to look at today is the customization options. Which is the best customization, which has the most comprehensive options, and which characters look pretty cool. So let's just start with Nioh 2. Now obviously you've got various preset faces that you can select. Alright, we're doing both at the same time, it seems. Let's come out of Cyberpunk. That's quite interesting because they're both using the controller. So I wonder what happens if I do that. Let's just click on Nioh 2. So maybe it'll create some weird character over there as well. So yeah, you've got all these kind of presets, but then you can sort of create your own tailoring. So let's start off with this character here. We'll use her as a base template. And you know, I think as well what you have to bear in mind is if you look at the region of where the games have been made, so for example Cyberpunk 2077, that's been made in Poland. So basically you can get the characters are looking very European basically, whereas if you look at the Nioh 2 developed in Japan, you'll find that the characters have that sort of Asian look, and sometimes it's difficult to get away from that. So let's just go back to Nioh 2. I have to come out of the window and just select that. That's it. So change skin color, gender, got the so a lot of options here. Eyebrows, let's just move those. You've got the templates that you can just cycle through, which is quite easy. So I mean, Cyberpunk uses a similar setting. So let's just get some narrower eyebrow. Remember, these are the same options for the male and female characters. So you can create some really weird looking characters on this. I think we'll go with those. They're quite thick, no eyebrows. We want sort of thin eyebrows for a female character, so they're kind of all of them are on the thick side, so we'll just go with this one here. They're quite light, that's fine. Okay, go back. So now you can sort of tailor them, make the slightly higher. Then you've got eyebrow depth, bring that in slightly, spacing, separate that a bit more. Height is fine, and you want an inner eyebrow height to bring that up so she's not so, there you go, and then lower the height generally of the eyebrows so they're not as curved. And eyebrow angle's fine. Thickness, that's probably something you can lower the density. And then eyebrow thickness, lower that down, that's better, much more feminine looking. And let's go to the next section. Okay, that's fine. I mean, again, you've got sub menus here as well to get different colors. So as I said before, the eyes now, this is where in some programs it's very difficult to get away from Japanese or Asian looking characters. So let's just see if we can zoom in now. I think we've as far zoomed in as we can. So you'll notice with Asian eyes that the upper eyelids sometimes aren't as pronounced as on a Western character. So if you're able to edit those, we'll go with those there, which look pretty cool. So I think I'm going to need to change the angle as well. Yeah, because she looks a bit freaky, so that's better. And then spacing, bring them slightly closer together. Yep, she's looking good. Take the angle slightly. You want them a bit more symmetrical, like that. Then eyelid height is important. So I noticed with the editor on League of Maidens, you don't have these sort of intricate eye options, so it makes it very difficult to. We'll leave the depth for now. It makes it very difficult to create characters that aren't sort of Asian looking. So I think she's okay. I think the eyeball size is probably a bit too big, so just lower that down a little bit. Yeah, that's fine for me. Looks okay. I'm not going to spend too long because obviously this video is going to end up being Right, we'll leave the eye like that. Iris size, bring that down slightly. And then we want to change the colour. I want to have a sort of a brown colour. There you go, much better. And they're both the same, that's good. And then nose now.
I hope their eyes will be just like yours. You know how I love your
So you've got various noses. You can use the presets, or you can then tailor any of the noses to suit. So again, as I found with the editor in League of Maidens, for example, the options are quite limited in terms of the shape, the nostrils especially. So height is very important. You don't want it looking like that because then you'll look like a orc. So you want to get it just the right symmetrical in the face, and then you want to have, I've got to be careful of what's going on in Cyberpunk. I don't want to edit and exit the game. Nose width. In fact, what I should do is minimize Cyberpunk so it's not showing. There you go, that's better whilst we're doing that. Right. So we'll leave that there. Mouth again. Mouth height is important. Not too low, not too high. I think here's pretty much okay. Depth is not bad. And then the size, just bring that in slightly because it's a bit of a big mouth she's got there. Corner angle, lower that down. Lip upper thickness is fine. Just lower it down a little bit. Lower lip thickness, just a little touch down. Okay. Is not problem. And then we go back. Hair.
I can't wait for the day I get to brush my child.
Got all these presets. Pretty cool. So I'm just going to leave it at that really because I don't want to spend too long. But yeah, you can make some really nice looking characters with this editor. We'll go with that hairstyle, and then we'll change the colour to a lighter brown colour. Yep, that's perfect. It's kind of got a bit of redness to it. That suits her nicely. So you can actually change the makeup as well, which I haven't gone into, just to give her a bit more of a... I think she's got pretty good makeup at the moment, but the only thing I'd add is a bit of blush on the cheeks. Not too deep. You're going to have to tone that down, so that's fine. And then you've got to change the opacity, bring that down so it's just a bit more subtle. That's it. And then lipstick. Always somebody at the door. What I need is one of those on-air signs outside the flat door. Right, where was it? Lipstick. So lipstick. Change the colour. I want it a bit brighter. It's a bit dull colour she's got there. That pink is wonderful. Perfect. Obviously you can do custom colours. Right, the one thing I haven't done here, which I'm just noticing now, obviously you've got all this body shape, chest size and all the rest of it. Muscle definition, make her big, extra weight, very tall. Is her face, I've just noticed her jaw is kind of a bit and there's no option to do it. So you'd have to use, when you go at the beginning, you have to choose the correct face shape, which is what you do at the beginning of the customization. But anyway, quite happy with her. She's pretty cool. So yeah, Nioh 2 allows you to create some really nice looking characters. And the graphics are wonderful as well. Yep, she's wonderful. Let's just leave her there. Okay, that's Nioh 2. Obviously that's on PlayStation and on PC now. So let's do, as a contrast, let's just go to League of Maidens, which is now mouse control. I was using controller back then. We'll come back to Cyberpunk in a moment. So let's just get her in the middle of the screen. So this is a character that I created yesterday from one of the many templates that you have. You do have the option to select different clothing. Let's not go too much on those details. But this is a game where you need to sort of purchase those outfits. A bit like Dead or Alive fighting game, where you're spending about £2-3 on the each outfit. So obviously if you want to buy them all, that's going to cost a lot of money. So what I'm going to do now is go to another character, manage my War Maidens. I've got 3. Go to Sleaze. She's unedited really. Well, she's edited to look more normal looking compared to some of the looks that you get in this game, where they're kind of exaggerated features. I think some people are concerned that all they are is massive thighs, a huge butt and large breasts, but you can actually just make a normal looking character should you choose. So the customization options on this game are limited compared to Nioh 2, for example, which I'd put Nioh 2 as probably one of the better customization options available, period. I mean, there are other games. So I've made this character now look kind of slender. As you can see, she's pretty normal looking. So I can use her now as a template to show you some of the stuff you can do. And she's in a default outfit as well. This is the outfit that you get when you just download the free-to-play game. So what you can do now, change the colour, edit that as you see fit. So what this game's strength is, then let's just show you that. Well, you've seen it with my other character. If we go to the body, I need to take off the overlay. If you go to the body now, you can change the chest size, massive. You can change the breast size now, huge, small, somewhere in the middle. You can then change a lot of options for the breast. Then you've got the butt. You can change that to wide. You'll have to spin around. A bit dark to see. Let's change the colour. There you go. You can see that better. You've got all these jiggles. So oval hip size is where you're going to make it into a big character. Upper width, you know, makes it a bit abnormal looking. So yeah, and then thigh size, make those big. And if we go back to the breast size, just to show you that this is what you can do, you can then make these kind of crazy looking characters. But let's keep her normal for now. Well, relatively normal. So take that thigh size down to about there. Yeah, she's cool. So more importantly, let's look at the face now. So if you go to the face, there are lots of presets that you can use. But here you've got all the different options for the shapes, width, depth, cheeks, ears, eyes. And as I said, the eyes is something that is quite difficult, because you're not going to get away from the upper eyelid. There's no option for that, so they're all going to have that sort of same kind of look. Let's change the eye color as well. You've got all these sliders to do that. Make it a bit darker blue. Change the hair. You've got all these presets here. And again, you can buy more or unlock more. And I'll change the hair color to brown, like that. And then you've got all these things like headgear and other stuff, tattoo, wings, those kind of things. So I'm not really going to edit much on the face here. I think she's fine. I mean, let's just do some slight editing. Remembering to turn her to the side. She looks pretty cool. So let's just change the nose wing width slightly. Nose tip depth. Nose tip angle, shape. She's kind of pointed. You can do all mad stuff like that. Bring that down slightly. Nose tip shape, bring that in. And then you've got the nose height, you know, that can drastically change the look of a face, depending. Mouth position, move that up and down. But you can't change the size of the mouth very well, so it is kind of limited, but there's a lot of presets that you can actually use here to get your character looking how you want. So let's come out of here and go back to my preloaded other character that I made yesterday. You know, I spent a good bit of time making her. And let's just push this out the way for the moment. So that's League of Maidens customization. I think a lot of the Eastern games or Asian games use that similar sort of slider template, as you've seen with Nioh 2 as well. I mean, there's games like The Sims 4 which use an option where you push and pull and grab and tweak that way, which is quite cool. You've got all these expressions. So that's cool, nice. Yeah. Just keep her on the face. We've got two different faces. Right, so where are we now? We're going to go look at Black Desert Online now. So this is, I think, one of the best character creation tools available. They've got loads of these wonderful characters. I think this might even be Korean developed. This is Pearl Abyss. and they've really added a lot to this since it first launched several years ago. And they've got some really nice looking characters. I mean, even the default characters are wonderful, a bit like Nioh 2. In fact, they've all got nice default characters. But obviously, if you want to edit and tweak to make your own personalized look, then right. So really pretty looking characters. The textures. So if you look at all three of these characters now, the texture detail. Nioh 2 has a very smooth, sort of warm look to it. League of Maidens has kind of a quite a sharp look, and with yeah, it's not a soft looking, and I think the characters look a bit more sort of animated. And then you go down here to the soft look of Black Desert Online. I think Cyberpunk as well, if we could just compare that as well. Oh, it started the game somehow with all those button presses. Not sure what's happened there. I've got to be careful it doesn't load my game and then delete it. Let's just put that there and go back. Yeah, that's my game loaded. So exit to main menu. It's interesting that she's top right characters looking at Cyberpunk loading. In fact, they're all looking towards Cyberpunk 2077. That's quite interesting. What game is this? Are you playing? It might be. It's almost like that Sesame Street. Which one of these? One of these is not the same as the others. So new game. Go back again. So it must have backed out of the customization. I'll just select Street Kid. And I've got to go with female. I've got to be careful of the nudity. In fact, there should be an option to take that off. How do I do that? Go back to the menu. You have to excuse me. I should have set this up before. Nope. Back. Right, settings. Interface. Gameplay. Nudity sensor on. That's it. Gosh. This is YouTube for you. Well, that's on now. Okay. Right. Just bear with me. It's quite quick loading. So this is pretty amazing though. I've got these four games running at the same time. I kind of wondered, is it possible to do that? Right, she's wearing clothes now. So this is the default V, and I've forgotten what I was actually looking at this for. Oh yeah, I was looking at this because I was showing that randomized, showing that you can the different looks for each game. So if you look at them now, let's just bring that down a touch. She's covering up League of Maidens. I don't want to get too close. Bring her up. I'm not using the screen real estate very well here, so I'm using this on a 4K TV, my standard. In fact, that should come down. Black Desert, right. I don't want it to go full screen. Just bring that down. Right. So look at the four different character creations. Cyberpunk has a very, again, a soft look. They all got the soft look apart from League of Maidens. So it's a kind of filter to make it look. Let's see if I can do that and get a closer look at her face. Right. I'm not actually that impressed with the default V in Cyberpunk. I think a lot of people aren't impressed with it either compared to the original showing. But then obviously you spend a bit of time and you will find a character that suits your requirements visually. Not that you get to see that character. Let's just quickly change the hair. Make that dark. Okay. So yeah, so that was my point here. Just showing you the different looks for each of these games. Quite interesting. So you've got fantasy bottom left. You've got sort of realistic top left. But very Asian influence. You've got totally animated and Asian influence top right. And then you've got the Western Cyberpunk at the bottom. Which is quite interesting. But we were actually supposed to be looking at Black Desert Online. So let me just bring this over now. Put her center stage. So hair. So again, using very similar style to Nioh 2. Lots of options. We're not going to go too deep into this, but I think that's a bit annoying having that pop-up come each time. There's possibly a way to change that. Change the shape and the color. Let's just change the color to dark brown. There you go. Yeah, she's really nice. I mean, gosh. I mean, compare that looking face to the Cyberpunk face down there on the bottom left. Very much cute. Right, so go back, close it off. Customizing. So you can change the hair. It's all standard stuff. Then you've got all this stuff, skin. Change the skin tone. Face shape. I'm not going to go into too much detail, otherwise this video can end up being 10 hours long. Iris and all that stuff. So let's just move that up and change the eye colour to a bit of a lighter blue colour. Oh, that's changing the inner size. There you go. I want the iris colour to be blue. That's better. Or brown. And then you change your opacity because I think that's quite intense. Just make it like that sort of colour. Wonderful. And obviously you can do left and right eye as well. I really don't want to change this character. She just looks so wonderful anyway. But you can obviously do whatever you want. Face shape. Start adjusting the left and right sections. So this is where it gets into deep mode. As I said, the Sims allows you to sort of manually pull and pull these things. Oh, in fact, you can do that here as well. And this is going to drastically change the look of your character. So you do that in real time. So that's quite cool. And then you can just reset all if you're not happy. So that's a very intuitive way of customization. And if you look closely, look at all the points that you're able to customize. So you can really go deep on the character. And this is why I would say that Black Desert Online is probably one of the best, if not the best, customization options that you will find for a video game. Because of this feature of being able to just adjust every facet of the face. It's really awesome. And yeah, let's add some blush or eyeliner, get a bit of lip color, and you can change that to a darker tone like that, black. So that's changed the look dramatically. Close it off. So then obviously the body as well, strip her down to her underwear. And again, you've got the pull points, push and pull points. But you can also just I'm quite happy with that pose. So there, she's just wonderful. Really awesome character creation. Again, they released a set before the actual game released. I remember they allowed you to download the customization option before the game released, so that you can spend some time just working with it. But, I mean, they come with some really nice outfits as well. Unfortunately, though, you have to pay for those outfits, and they're time-based, I think, or they were when I last played the game, which is a bit of a skank, in my opinion. So, yeah, that's Black Desert Online. Really cool, wonderful models, and I think one of the best things that you'll get. So finally, let's just go now properly to Cyberpunk 2077, the most recent release, I think. Yes, a lot you can do with this. A shame I can't load up one of my previous characters, but what you can do, which is quite interesting, is go to the random, just keep flicking through them until you find something that's got something that you like, and then you can sort of edit from that if you've not wanting to spend the time working with it. Right, so this one's pretty cool. So what I need to do, just to quickly edit that, eyes. Right, you need to change that eye, because that's really changing the look. I'm not sure which one it is. Eye makeup color. Is it eye makeup color? No. It's the eye type. It's got green eyebrows. Gosh. Anyway, that was one of the change that to dark to suit her hair color. That's fine. I should be using the controller here. A lot easier. Right. Cyberware is good, and that's also another thing that makes this kind of unique, is the fact that you've got all this cyberware. Gives it a nice unique look, which is cool. I mean, it's limited on options. You've not got the same level of depth as you have with Black Desert Online, but you do have, I think that comes under eye color. That's better. Right. Yeah, blue eyes. And we're going to change eyebrow colors. Fine. We just need to sort out that hairstyle, which is a bit over the top. Yep, that's fine. Change the hair color. Again, they're all looking over to this. Let's yeah, that's good for me. Color's good. Lips are fine. Let's just use the mouse. So yeah, there you go. Let's just remove the cyberware though for the time being. There you go, and then just make the lips a bit better. She's got some eye makeup on. Lip makeup color. Lip makeup. Cheek makeup. Lip makeup. She's got that weird line going through it. To change that, that's better. And yeah, that purple works. Change the colour. That's fine by me. And then obviously you want to put some blemish on the cheek makeup. Change the colour of that. It's kind of brown. Nope, that's fine. So you can create nice looking characters on Cyberpunk. Unfortunately, you don't get to see them that often unless you go to the mirror, as everybody is aware. So yeah, she's looking pretty cool now. I like her. So we've got the 4 different characters now. So again, if you wanted to see the performance of this now on my PC using the RTX 3090, running 4 games, all running at sort of their max settings, but at 1080p each. I turned the ray tracing off on Cyberpunk. It's using what, 80% of the GPU, Temperatures running at 65 degrees. RAM usage now is 11 gig or almost 12 gig, and VRAM is just over 10 gig, which is pretty amazing. But they're all nicely running at 60 FPS without any sort of hiccups. So that's pretty cool, isn't it, ladies? Right, I'm going to leave it at that. This is so hang on, I think I already did this, so I'll do it again one last time. If I'm going to rate them in order of preference and which I think is the best, I'm going to go with Black Desert Online as the best, followed probably by Nioh 2, and then Cyberpunk 2077, and then League of Maidens. But obviously they've all got their own individual style. That's the main thing. Obviously Nioh 2 and Black Desert Online are probably closest to each other in terms of offering fantasy characters. But League of Maidens is unique in the fact that it'll offer you the chance to create really animated, abnormal looking characters if you so choose, which is cool. And then obviously Cyberpunk being the only Western developed game here, having that sort of cyberpunk look, which the others don't have, sort of that sci-fi kind of looking characters. So yeah, this is pretty cool, really enjoyable playing with these. And I mean, you can spend a lot of time just messing with the character creations of all these games just to create your perfect look. Okay, I'm going to leave it at that. I am Rob Cram. Thanks for watching, and I'm going to say this, I don't normally say this, but please like and subscribe. Yeah, that's cool. Alright, out of here.